Now, I have an idea here that I think could be really beneficial to Arsenal. I haven't heard anything about something like this being added to the game. Now, what I'm talking about here is an events tab. I actually got this idea from someone who asked me to run a tournament in the Arsenal Discord, and then this idea just came straight into my head. I was like, oh my God, this is actually, hold on. I need to think about this because this is actually a really good idea. And I think I could make a video on this explaining my thought process here. So what exactly is an events tab? Events tabs are something where like a person from the community or like the devs themselves or like I said, community members can make their own little events for other people to participate in. This could be used for like tournaments, mini games, or something along those lines there for like Arsenal. This is how that could be used. Now, how could this work? We know that a lot of people, you know, they would try and exploit this, you know, and so I think this should be limited to creators and obviously the devs. I think creators would be able to spend points that they get because Zone and the devs have said something about creators gaining like points for people using their code in game, and so creators could use the points that they get from these codes to create an event that people could sign up for the said event. I think this would be really helpful because, you know, creators could, you know, host their own little like tournaments for people to participate in, or their own little mini games that people can go and participate in. And I think this would be able to help them reach a newer audience that they wouldn't have reached before. And it creates more community engagement with the Arsenal community. It gives people more things to do as well. That's kind of why I wanted to speak about this a little bit more, because this creates more community engagement. And I think that's something that is more needed in Arsenal right now. Now, what would you get for winning said event? I think there should be rewards like battle bucks, possibly ciphers. I know ciphers are going to be a different way of earning, but I'm just throwing out ideas here, and maybe some in-game items. But I think in-game items should obviously be only exclusive to dev run events. This would obviously have to be regulated some way because there's going to be some people who are just doing this to just give people another advantage, or they're just going to try and, you know, give these outrageous amounts of battle bucks or rewards, something like that. This would probably need to be automated because, you know, devs aren't going to have the whole time to just constantly be checking this events tab. I've also seen from Zone and from other devs, they want things to be more automated and not like a manual process. There should be a thing like in the Arsenal Discord or somewhere when you're creating an event that gives you guidelines of what can be rewarded for like a certain size of the event or what type of event it is. There could be guidelines there, and with those guidelines, then you'd be able to choose how much you want to give, because from here, I think the creator would have to be using their own funds to host these events. Like, say a creator has 1 million battle bucks or whatever, and they want to give out like 300,000 to the winner, which would not happen because that would be very much against the guidelines, but this is just an example here. Then the creator would have to pay 300,000 of their own battle bucks to someone else. But again, this would have to be heavily regulated because 300,000 battle bucks being given to someone else is very much not really okay, I would say. And that could potentially be a thing of like, oh, the creator is just helping out one of their friends because they know their friends is really good at this, you know. So this would again have to be really heavily regulated, and the guidelines have to be more strict than that. But again, just giving out ideas here for how this could be automated and how this could be implemented into the game, so that the devs can just have this here and have it working. But I think having it come straight out of the content creators funds would be a good way to, you know, not only crack down on the guidelines, but also having like a guidelines thing, like say this is a 100-person event, and there's like 1 or 2 winners. If there's a one winner thing, then that one winner could earn up to, like, again, for example, 10,000 battle bucks for winning this event. And that would have to be an option it's like either between 5 and 10,000. The creator would choose a number between 5 and 10,000 to give to the winner. Or there's like a prize pool of first, second, third place gets 2,000, second place gets like 3,000, and first place gets 5,000. That would be a 10,000 battle buck prize pool right there. But it'd be like a choice that you'd have to choose between this lower number and this higher number based on the size of this event and what the event is. I think that's a good way to automate this process for the devs. Now, if a creator doesn't follow these guidelines, or if the devs allow it to be where the creator chooses the amount, but it goes very much against the guidelines, the creator would just permanently lose the ability to create events, because, you know, you don't want them to be able to, you know, exploit this thing again. I think this events tab is a really great idea. I don't know if they already have this in their plans somewhere, because I haven't seen anything about it, but maybe they already have this in their plans somewhere. but I think this would be a really great way for Rolv to become more interactive with the community, as even Rolv themselves could create events, like tournaments or hidden events of some sort. So when for say like there's an update being produced, they could run one of these events to create more community engagement instead of just kind of having it just like, oh, you can play the game and having like contracts to do. However, I know with A2 they're also gonna have like battle passes. They're gonna have a lot more things for people to grind while there's not an update coming out. So I know that's a thing, but this could also just add on to it and give more things to do and create more community engagement. Now, an idea here I had, I don't know if it's a great idea. This is just because I'm not a dev, so obviously my ideas, you know, aren't really probably the greatest, and there's probably a lot of problems with them. I was thinking they could maybe run like a kills event or something like this, like just for an example, like a kills event where you could enter into this event. You'll have 1 hour to play this and see how many kills you can get, and whoever gets like the most kills within that 1 hour will, you know, win a prize from Rolv. And I think this is a very like easier, like once they set this up, I think this would be easier way for them to do like other events like this, you know, like who can get the most explosive kills, who can do this, who can do the most of this or this. So like I said, just getting like the most kills in a 1 hour period, and there's like a entry for like it's like a 1 week entry, and you can do this 1 hour, you know, thing within any period within that 1 week time period. You only have one entry or something along those lines. Now I do realize there'd be an issue with exploiters and so on, but I'm just throwing out ideas here, and I feel like there could be a way to prevent exploiters from joining. They can maybe do something where like you can only join into events if you meet certain requirements, kind of like what they did with the premium servers. But with events, there's probably like a requirement that you have to meet in order to be able to join these, to try and limit the amount of exploiters that would be joining into these events. Yeah, that's kind of my ideas here. Let me guys know what you guys think about this, because I thought it was a really good idea, and I spent a lot of time kind of seeing how this could work. And so yeah, I want to know what y'all think about this. I think it'd be really cool to see, but yeah, I'd also love to hear what a dev would say about this, because I think it would be a really good thing to do, because I've also played games like Trackmania that have like community driven events. So yeah, thank you guys again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.